Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Fragments of Memory once again, aka the Armchair Philosopher. I just got through seeing a video done by one YouTuber named Jasen Stl. Subscribe to him if you haven't. He gives some interesting insight, whether you agree or disagree with him. He does come with just something to make you go, hmm. So anyway, um, he did a video recently called "I Know You're Hurtin'," and I took a few notes, so this is my response to it. Number one, you did talk a little bit about your history of dating women of the Asian persuasion. Me, ethnicity is no issue for me. I really don't have an issue. If I am attracted to someone, I'm merely attracted to someone. There's no issue with me trying to choose a race, whether the white, the black, the brown, the yellow, the red, it doesn't matter. If there is an attraction and there's a connection, that's it. I've never really understood the whole someone dating a race. My attraction isn't limited to ethnicity. Now, my orientation is heterosexual. Let's keep it there, and let me lay that out for you. But ethnicity's never really been an issue for me. I think the issues rise when I have to deal with the family members or the surrounding communities, but not necessarily with the individual themselves. Yeah, man. Male or female, we're all damaged. I was reading this one book, and one of the things the writer said was he saw an ad for a personals type of publication, and the thing said "No Walking Wounded," and he pointed out that there's no such thing as no walking wounded. Everyone's been wounded in this life. Everyone has had some type of trauma, some type of woe, or some type of struggle that they've been through, and it has left an impression on them. So everyone's damaged in some way. For a man, it might be he dealt with a woman and there was infidelity. Maybe he got dumped. Maybe he was the sort of guy that was tricking, if you will. So he's damaged in that regard. The woman, especially the attractive woman, you did point that out, that some women not only do they have to deal with the heartbreak and the infidelity, but you might deal with a person that was raped or the product of incest. And of course, that leaves an impression on them, not only just in the mind, but in the nervous system as well. And of course, everyone's always going to be looking for an attractive woman and trying to possess or at least get a piece of an attractive woman. Now, I do want to point out that some wounds can't be healed, or I don't want to say can't be healed. I do want to say there's a great struggle to sometimes bounce back from certain wounds. Um, Now, the Austrian philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, he utters the phrase that a lot of people use: "What does not kill me only can make me stronger," or "What doesn't kill me only makes me stronger." Um, that's true. I believe that man is born into toil and struggle, and we will have our struggles, whether it's on the field of battle, whether it's at work, or even in social settings. But yet realize that some wounds is going to be a little harder to bounce back from. You can't just say, "Oh, I'll just get over it," and I'll just magically get over it. And I'll push a button, or I'll take a pill, or I'll drink a potion, and everything will just automatically be all right. That's not going to happen. That's not real life. So people are going to have things they need to wrestle with. And let me just give it to you too. There's pressure in dating someone. There is that pressure. I mean, let's say it was a blind date. I'll even take a personal page out of my own life. A friend of mine and his lady, who I'm on really good terms with, too. She was having her birthday, and I decided, and we were invited to her birthday party, so we all congregated together and had a birthday. You know, my boy, and the rest of our crew was there, and then her friends were there, and it was the usual standard fare. Everybody that knows the same people stick to their little cliques. So I'm over here running my mouth with one of my friends on one side of the table, and me and my boy are talking about what are we talking? Oh, we're talking about Doctor Who because I'm a Doctor Who fan. But anyway, on the other end of the table are the other people. So I decide, let me be nice, go over to the other side of the table. And as I do this, making general conversation, all of a sudden my homeboy is trying to like set me up with some chick of one, some chick that's in the group of his girlfriends, some of his girlfriend's friends. He's like, yeah, man, why don't you talk to her? Why don't you? Well, y'all seem to be getting cozy, man. You should jump on that. And at that point there was that awkwardness because now I'm pressured to make a move on this woman whom I don't know, as opposed to if it had just been, hey, let me have a conversation with someone. But now it turned into, now I have to wow her and dazzle her and win her over, and all I'm doing is just trying to celebrate a birthday at the time. So that puts it in an awkward perspective. Yes, I know that a woman is a human being, but just as people are capable of doing some beautiful, wonderful things, people are capable of doing some horrible, sick, twisted, effed up things too. Murder, theft, treachery, deception, cannibalism. Remember now, Jeffrey Dahmer was a human being. He wasn't an alien invader from the planet X. He was a human being who ate other human beings. And also, I think, especially in our culture, our self worth is defined amongst many things, your sex appeal, your sexual attraction. Like, how many guys brag about how many women they can quote unquote pull? How many women brag on how many good men they can pull? But especially with men, like, we're basically told, hey man, I got this many women. And of course, there's that thing known as comparison. And as I'm reminded in one quote, comparison is the thief of joy, because you start comparing yourself to the other person and you don't measure up because maybe your experiences with the opposite sex have only been minute, where theirs may have been multitudinous. And of course, we take for granted that they're telling the truth when they could totally be feeding us a line of BS. But all we hear is, yeah, man, I pulled this, I pulled that, I can pull this, I can pull that. So after a while, you hear this, you start asking yourself, am I worthless because I'm not doing what he's doing? Is something wrong with me? So that's another thing. Also, there's something else I want to point out is that no one is raised in a vacuum. No one lives in a vacuum either. No one lives in isolation. And I've noticed that our culture is saturated with this cynicism and skepticism, where we just seem to not be optimistic anymore. Like, there's a good thing, but then we're waiting for the other shoe to drop. Where it's like, man, this really wonderful, beautiful thing's coming to me. What's going to happen to take it away from me? And that just seems to be our culture, where just people are skeptical and cynical. Like, I have this really wonderful prize, this wonderful blessing, and then someone's going to come along and take it from me. Or something bad's going to happen and mess it all up. And I've often had those thoughts, and I'm sure many here out in YouTube and in cyberspace have also had those thoughts. Um, I think that cynicism and skepticism are part and parcel of our society. And more often than not, there's an old saying I came across, spoken by Paul Nathaniel Johnson, I believe. And he said, trust no man until time and good works prove him. So already, to me, that's a real cynical statement, because now we don't know how to deal with each other. And bringing it back full circle to the whole dating thing, well, maybe this woman will do me dirty, or maybe I'll mess up. And there's another thing in our society that we try to avoid. And I'm seeing that my time's running out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop right here, and I'm going to just pick back up in a part two. So later for now.